Greetings, viewers. Welcome to Global Religious Mysteries. We will face a chilling secret today. Imagine nearly 1,000 giant stone gods standing tall. They guard the most isolated place on Earth. But look closer at this majestic landscape. There are absolutely no trees, no animals, and no life. How did a primitive tribe carve and move these massive giants across a barren, dead wasteland? The truth reveals a scary tale of blind faith, nature's collapse, and a terrifying human madness. In the deep waters of the Pacific Ocean lies Rapa Nui, a volcanic island hidden from the world. Here, the ancient people built a massive society completely cut off from all other civilizations. They created the Moai, enormous stone figures that stare blankly across the dry and windy plains. According to early records, these were not just art, but sacred vessels holding great spiritual power. Each statue weighs tens of tons. They stand on massive platforms called ahu near the rocky coastlines. Interestingly, they do not look out to the sea. They face inward, watching over the fragile villages. The islanders believed these silent guardians protected them from evil spirits and ensured their survival. This golden age of building started around the 13th century, driving a fierce cultural boom. Every tribe wanted the biggest and most impressive statue to prove their strength and please the high gods. The chiefs wore heavy bone ornaments and displayed great wealth, showing their deep spiritual connection. They believed that divine energy, known as mana, flowed directly from the ancestors into the stones. This strong belief tied their political power completely to the rapid construction of these huge idols. But building these giants required massive resources on a small island with limited natural supplies. The people lived on simple crops like yams, while the elites demanded more and more stone monuments. The island was once covered in lush palm forests. These trees provided vital shelter and daily food. Slowly, the focus shifted from simple survival to a dangerous, unending race of religious glory. A chilling thought arises here. When does a society cross the line between deep faith and pure greed? We must look closer at the deep quarry where these heavy stones were forcefully ripped from the earth. Hundreds of skilled carvers worked day and night, choking on thick dust, blindly following the priests. The Golden Age was quickly becoming a heavy burden. The island's delicate balance was now at risk. Welcome to Rano Raraku, the fiery volcanic crater that served as the grand factory for the gods. Even today, hundreds of unfinished statues remain frozen in the rock, showing a sudden, dark stop. The workers used hard basalt tools called toki to violently smash the softer volcanic tuff away. Sweating heavily under the hot sun, the muscular men carved these giants straight out of the mountain. High above the dust, tattooed shamans stood on the cliffs, shouting loud prayers to bless the new gods. They believed their dark magic and ancient chants gave real life to the heavy, silent stone figures. The chiefs watched proudly. Their long-stretched earlobes marked them as the supreme rulers of the land. To show even more power, they began carving massive red stone hats, called pukau, for the statues. These red cylinders weighed many tons. Adding them to the heads was an incredible act of engineering. But this intense competition forced the tribes to demand even more labor and food from the poor people. They started cutting down the tall palm trees at an alarming rate to build tools and heavy transport frames. According to modern science, the island's fragile soil could not handle this rapid deforestation. Without trees, the fierce ocean winds blew away the fertile dirt, making farming incredibly hard. Yet, the priests ignored the dying land. They demanded bigger statues to beg the gods for more rain. The obsession grew totally out of control. The religious leaders became blind to the coming disaster. As the forests vanished, the people could no longer build wooden canoes to catch fish in the deep sea. Their food supply crashed, but the stone carving never stopped. The loud hammers echoed day and night. If you were a chief, would you stop building the sacred idols or push harder to save your dying tribe? The spiritual madness blinded them. The statues were no longer protecting them. They were killing them. Now, the biggest mystery remains. How did they move these massive stones without any modern machines? Local legends always claimed that the statues used their powerful magic to simply walk to the coast. For centuries, modern scholars laughed at this myth, but recent studies show the legend is actually true. The Moai were brilliantly designed with a large belly that pushed their center of gravity far forward. Teams of strong men tied thick ropes around the statue's head and pulled it from alternating sides. By violently pulling left and right, the giant stone would tilt and wobble, slowly stepping forward. It literally walked down the dirt paths. This required perfect teamwork and incredibly strong ropes. But the cost was devastating. Making these strong ropes required stripping bark from millions of trees. The men suffered terrible injuries. Their hands bled, while they pulled the heavy giants across the land. They chanted loudly in rhythm, leaning back with all their might to force the stone gods to move ahead. The ground shook with every step. Dust clouds filled the air, choking the desperate and hungry workers. Many statues fell during this brutal journey, completely shattering on the hard volcanic rocks below. A fallen statue lost its magic. It was left behind in the dirt, abandoned by the exhausted tribe. To replace the fallen gods, they simply carved more, accelerating the destruction of the island's trees. The walking statues consumed everything. The forests were completely wiped out to support the transport. By the 16th century, the island was mostly barren. The great palm trees were now totally gone. The society reached a breaking point. The gods they sacrificed everything for remained completely silent. Rain did not fall. Crops failed completely. The people looked at the giant stones with growing anger. The magic of the manna had failed. The chiefs and priests lost their absolute power over the starving crowds. Trust was violently broken. The desperate people realized the stone gods could not feed their crying children. Fear quickly turned into violent rage. The united society split into angry, warring tribal factions. The island became a trap. Without wood for boats, no one could escape this terrifying green hell. The era of building abruptly ended. The era of bloody warfare and brutal survival had finally begun. The once peaceful island quickly descended into pure chaos. Starving warriors roamed the dusty plains. They carried sharp spears tipped with deadly black obsidian, ready to kill for the smallest scrap of food. The people were reduced to skin and bones. Their eyes were wild with madness, hunger, and extreme fear. The religious devotion turned into violent hatred. The tribes attacked each other in brutal night raids. The ultimate insult in this war was to destroy the enemy's spiritual power by attacking their statues. They used long wooden poles to violently push the giant moai forward, forcing them to crash face down. When the heavy stone hit the ground, the earth shook. The beautiful white coral eyes shattered completely. Breaking the eyes destroyed the manna. It was a clear message that the gods were dead and powerless. Across the island, hundreds of majestic statues were violently toppled, lying broken in the dry dirt. The proud chiefs were brought to their knees. Their glorious civilization had collapsed into pure ruin. This period of destruction is known as the Moai. It marks the darkest chapter of their history. The people hid in dark caves, terrified of their neighbors. The island was drowned in blood and sorrow. They eventually formed a new, terrifying cult around the Birdman, focusing entirely on pure survival. But the damage was permanent. When the Europeans finally arrived, they found a shattered, broken society. The outsiders brought terrible diseases and brutal slave ships, delivering the final crushing blow. The Rapa Nui story is a haunting mirror for our modern world. We are also trapped on a fragile island. We consume our natural resources at an alarming rate, blindly trusting in our own modern magic. Will our towering cities end up like the broken Moai, staring blankly over a dead and empty wasteland? The silence of the stones screams a powerful warning across the ocean. We must protect our environment. The tragic fall of this island shows that no amount of faith can save a society that destroys its home. The Moai stand as a dark warning to us all. Did their deep faith destroy them, or was it pure human greed? What do you think caused this tragic end? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. Let us discuss the truth. Please hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to our channel for more dark secrets.